Alright, I want you to listen to the following quote from Gene Simmons, and then I want you to stick around for a minute and listen to a reply by Brian Johnson and Angus Young of AC/DC. So first, let's listen to Gene Simmons. Here he is right here.
Yeah, rock is dead, and I'll prove it to you. You ready?
Yeah, go on then.
1958 until 1988 is 30 years. We had Elvis, the Beatles, the Stones, and Pink Floyd, and God knows, 1,000 British invasion bands, a few American bands, and you had the heavy bands, Maiden and Metallica and so on, U2, Bowie, Prince, on and on and on. Madonna, and the disco stuff, Motown, really rich music. From 1988 until today is more than 30 years. Where are the Beatles? Where's Elvis? Who's the new Beatles?
Alright, so what he's saying there is that the peak of what we generally refer to as rock music has already passed. He threw in a lot of other genres like disco, pop, R&B, but what he's saying is popular music as he understands it and as people of his generation understand it has effectively ended. Now I want you to listen to what Brian Johnson and Angus Young of AC/DC say in response. Let's take a listen to that right now.
It's been a long funeral.
A very long funeral.
With all respect to the lad, I think he's terribly wrong. For a start, I mean, I really do. I don't think anybody should, have a nerve to stand there and just say a certain genre of music has just disappeared overnight. It's not happy. Because I say so. Oh, okay?
Right.
Well, I'm here to tell you, Gene, you're wrong. And I'm saying it's alive and kicking.
Okay, so there couldn't be any two positions that were farther apart or more obvious. Gene Simmons is saying that, look, it's rock and roll is dead. And the guys in AC/DC here are saying, well, it's been a long funeral. They've been saying that rock is dead since the minute it started. And given enough time, everything comes back around in popularity. So what I want to do here is ask you what you give me your thoughts down in the comment section. Do you think that rock and roll is actually dead, or do you think that there is still a lot of life left in it? And for the purpose of this discussion, I think we should define rock and roll as basically R&B and blues based guitar music. In other words, it doesn't have to have guitar, but primarily it does have guitars to provide its backbone, and it's based on blues and R&B influences rather than being based on jazz or classical influences, even though, of course, rock and roll is a great melting pot and it borrows from every single possible genre. Now, the other thing I want to address in here is whether or not a particular genre of music can actually disappear. Well, I don't think disappear is a very good term, but I think that decline in popularity to a near vanishing point is totally applicable. If you think about something like big band music, swing music, chamber music, or even more obscure forms of ancient music that was played on instruments that don't even exist anymore. So I think that it is entirely possible for a genre of music to more or less disappear and only be known to historians, but I'm not necessarily saying that that has happened to rock and roll yet. What I actually think is that there is still some life left in the genre, and that we're going to see at least one more, if not several more, serious bursts of creativity and productivity, because the existing body of work left behind by the great artists that Gene Simmons mentions is so inspiring that there are bands out there right now that are picking up the torch. Now, whether or not anyone can find them is a topic for another video. I think that while it's become easier to create music, it's been harder to get it out to the public. And this may be a contributing factor to whether or not the rock and roll revival I'm predicting will be on a large or small scale. This is what I think, but what really matters is what you think. So if you have an idea about this or any other topic connected to classic or contemporary music, please drop it in the section below, and remember to like and subscribe. Also, check out the join button that's available now. If you choose to become a channel member, you'll gain access to members only badges, members only polls, members only videos, and other cool perks you'll see when you click on the button. You can also help out the channel by clicking on the Buy Me a Coffee link, going to the Buy Me a Coffee site, and leaving a donation. Every little bit helps this channel stay strong. Thanks a lot.